Guards are a fact of life in so many games. Obviously, when the goal is to get in somewhere, it's not much of a game if there's no obstacles. They aren't always good though. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the dumbest guards. Starting off with number 10, it's Hitman from 2016. Ignoring the whole issue of why guards don't seem to question why a creepy bald guy with a barcode tattoo is running around, as long as he's wearing the appropriate uniform. I mean, I've never seen this guy before, but yeah, he's dressed properly, so beyond that though, there's points within the AI in Hitman games that are pretty dumb. It's especially noticeable when you do something like set up an environmental hazard. Seemingly like clockwork, a guard will go over to investigate it, get electrocuted, another guard will get alerted by the body and do the exact same thing, like go get electrocuted by the environmental hazard. As long as there are guards remotely nearby, they'll keep falling into the same trap too. The bodies will keep stacking up as these lemming-like guards just continue stepping into the electrified puddle, only to be followed by another and another and another. At a certain point, civilians will start to investigate and get electrocuted. You could probably clear the entire place out if you had the patience to watch these fools continuously blunder to the same trap over and over again. So this little spot's turned into a mass grave. Oh well, better walk into the same spot everyone else did. I mean, it doesn't really help you complete your mission. Killing non-mission targets is actually frowned upon in these games, so killing all these people is not helping you, but they still never stop falling for it. It's morbid, but it is hilarious too. And number 9 is Assassin's Creed Unity. Most of the time, the guard AI in Assassin's Creed is pretty basic. And Unity doesn't have the worst AI in the series, but it's definitely got one of the most noticeably dumb types of AI. What doesn't help matters is that these guys are usually observant compared to what we normally get in this series, like they can spot you from pretty far away, in comparison even to many other stealth games. And on the harder missions, there are way more guards hanging around than you'll be able to handle if they do catch you. So while they're more likely to spot you, what they actually do when they see you is pretty dumb. It's really easy to hide around a corner or like a waist-high barrier, stand out of cover for a second so that they see you, and then you just get back into cover again. As long as they're not a sniper, they pretty much always walk forward to investigate. When they get close enough, you just kill them. That's it. They're gone. There's nothing stopping you from doing this again and again and again. Even when they are on full alert, the easiest way to deal with them is to run around a corner, hide, and just kill them with a corner assassination, because they will come blundering after you. You can do it with multiple guys in a row, one after the other. That's actually another funny thing about these dummies. They catch you quick, but then they lose you and forget about you just as fast. Look at this. I am alerting them to my location, and then I just hide in the same spot I was standing. They somehow lose track of me. So it's not like I'm in some unreachable spot. All they have to do is walk over here, but nope. These guys have the object permanence of a baby. I can just keep doing it, and they just keep losing me, even though I'm not even moving. That is impressively dumb. And number 8 is Skyrim. Now, the place, Skyrim, isn't exactly home to the brightest people out there. You know about the bucket head trick where you put a bucket over someone's head and then rob them blind without them seeing you. But there is so much more about the AI in this game that is clueless. If you're willing to focus on stealth and use a bow and arrow, it's pretty easy to completely break the game because of how dumb enemies can be. For one thing, having high enough stealth basically makes everyone nearsighted and half deaf. You can practically be sneaking right in front of them and they will not see you. And also, they give up very fast. It is ridiculous to see a guy surrounded by corpses go back to hanging out after a few seconds. Oh, hey, my ally got shot. I'm gonna think about that for, less than a minute and then get back to eating an apple or whatever. They give up searching for you in literal seconds. It's comical when you actually take the time to look. It's especially silly when they've got an arrow sticking out of them. Like, they are super chill. You'd think they'd be a little more, tilted about getting shot in the head, but no, they go back to their regular business like nothing happened. Honestly, the dumbness of the AI in Skyrim is more of the standard video game dumbness than most of the other entries on this list, but it's so obvious that we have to mention it. And number 7 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In some ways, the enemies of Breath of the Wild are pretty clever, actually. They have a lot more responses to certain things than a lot of people might realize, but the way they respond to certain situations is basically binary, so once you know what they're gonna do, it becomes trivially easy to exploit them. Like how you can distract enemies by shooting objects with arrows. As long as they don't see you, the bokoblins will just basically check out whatever you shoot, including, like an explosive barrel maybe. Just lure them over and they are dead meat. Another quirk of these guys is they're basically incapable of looking up. Sure, they'll probably notice you eventually, but you can pretty much clear out entire camps of enemies just by getting up to a slightly elevated position and then just rain bomb arrows down on these dudes. They just don't have a counter. They run around like chickens with their heads cut off. One of the more clever things these guys do is they try to kick away bombs while you're fighting them. It's smart in theory, but once you know they're gonna do it, it's really easy to just detonate the bomb before they can kick it away. The thing is, they're always gonna go for the bomb, even if they're currently chasing you. Just drop a bomb, they'll spin around in place and start going after that instead. You'd think they'd learn their lesson after a while, but they do not. For Breath of the Wild, the dumbness of these enemies is just part of the game's charm, though, in a way. It's an almost sandbox experience, and being able to run circles around these chumps is just fun to do. And number 6 is Fallout 3. Enemies and guards in Fallout 3 are about as dumb as you'd expect for a game like this. With high enough stealth, they're basically blind. It's a Bethesda game. It's kind of common in stealth games, but the fact they can't see you through mesh walls or debris with huge holes in it is pretty funny. But even ignoring all that, there's some unique things about this game that makes the enemies especially dumb. Like the famous put live grenade in the enemy's pants trick, which is both incredibly powerful and very easy to do. All you have to do is sneak up on the unsuspecting guard, pickpocket them, and put a grenade in their inventory. Now take a few steps back and just watch their pants explode. What's particularly ridiculous is if you just stay crouched, you have a rudimentary hiding spot, nobody will even realize you did it. The minute you stand up and try to get away, everyone will notice, but if you stay crouched, the case of the exploding pants will remain another unsolved mystery. You gotta be pretty clueless to let somebody sneak a live grenade into your pocket, but that's just the start of how dumb these guys can be. A trick people use to steal the clothes off of guards is to sneak entire suits of armor into their inventories. If you leave and come back, they'll switch into that armor as long as it's in decent shape, and you can take their normal armor. So somehow these guys are so useless, you can put an entire suit of armor on them without them even noticing. They aren't just dumb, they are catatonic. And number 5 is Crysis. The whole game is supposed to make you feel like the Predator, wants you to feel like a powerful hunter with total battlefield control. Probably the most powerful ability in your arsenal is the power to cloak. If anything, it's a little too powerful, and a skilled enough player can use it to run circles around the enemies in this game, and at a certain point, there's pretty much nothing they can do about it. The downside of your cloak is supposed to be that if you fire a gun while invisible, it'll immediately drain your energy to 0, dropping you out of cloak, and then it takes a while to recharge. But there is also nothing stopping you from just quickly switching out of a cloak, firing a gun, and then switching back. In fact, do it fast enough, and soldiers don't have a counter for it. Like, at all. They will shoot at your last known position, they'll lob a grenade or two sometimes, but a lot of the time, if you pull this trick off quick enough, you can literally just stand in the middle of them, shoot a guy, disappear, and they'll all just stand there dumbfounded. It's like they're just giving up. These guys, could have just a little bit of self-preservation, but no, he's invisible. There's literally nothing we can do. Get good enough at cloaking, you're just gonna start feeling sorry for these guys. They stand less than 0 chance against you. Like, they're so dumb that you can literally appear right in front of them and they won't do anything. At number 4 is The Force Unleashed. Not really a stealth game, obviously, but when it comes to bumbling guards in pop culture, there is nothing more iconic than the Star Wars Stormtrooper. And the guys you take on in The Force Unleashed really live up to their dubious reputation. These guys are useless. Like, watch them try to take on rebels in the first real level of the game, the TIE Fighter Factory. They just stand there, waiting to die. Like, it's not like the rebels are much smarter. They'll take cover behind explosives and blow themselves up while they try to shoot at you. Like, they struggle to get through knee-high barriers with huge gaps in them. They fall off ledges trying to attack you. The list goes on. These guys must have been meant to be laughed at, just considering how often they're prone to just fall over. Like, look at this stormtrooper just sort of stumbling around. I don't even really know what's going on here. These guys are just all around pathetic and are probably some of the most bumbling enemies I've ever seen in an action game. It was pretty funny to watch them just to see what dumb thing they'll do next. At number 3 is Prototype 1 and 2, a series where there really isn't a loophole or weird trick or anything that reveals the guards are incredibly dumb. It's just everything in the game. Like, these guys have no sense of self-preservation whatsoever, and they're pretty much just asking for death. They are clueless. Keep in mind, the whole series is about you playing as a virus monster terrorizing New York, and the guards and soldiers' main goal is to find the infected and take them out. Yes, you have shape-shifting powers that make it harder to catch you in both games, so you have the advantage, but there's also so many things you can do that should clue these guys in that you're the monster, and they just barely react to it. Like how you can jump hundreds of feet in the air directly in front of them, leave a small crater when you land, and they don't bat an eye at it. You can completely absorb one of them into you as long as nobody's directly looking at you when you do it. That's fine too. Hell, you could be out and out aggressive and they barely do anything. Shoot rockets at their vital equipment? Oh, kinda suspicious, but probably nothing. It just goes on and on like this. In the first game, you can accuse people over and over again of being infected, and every time they'll just blast the guy, then they'll realize he wasn't infected, and then they'll shrug. No one even ever questions it. The only explanation is that all these guys just secretly want to die, and that's the only excuse, in my opinion at least, for what you can get away with in front of them. I mean, in the end, you're not supposed to take any of it seriously, because the fact they just let you get away with pretty much everything does actually make the games more fun. And number 2 is Gothic, which is an old game, so you do have to give it a little slack when it comes to the AI, but the level of dumbness displayed by the guards in this game, it's incredible at times. Funny thing is that actually a lot of the time the AI in Gothic is pretty impressive. People and guards are surprisingly reactive to what your player character does, and it can lead to some interesting stuff happening, like if you say something they don't like, they might knock you out and rob you, for instance. But for whatever reason, there is one incredibly dumb trick they are susceptible to, and it is super easy to pull off. Certain areas are blocked off, and anytime you try to approach, guards will turn you away, and that should be that until you're allowed access, but these guys are pretty easily distracted. All you have to do to get by them is unsheath your sword. The guards will then take out their swords and warn you to put your weapon down. So you just quickly put your weapon away and run past them. Like if you want to get into a guarded area, that's it. That's all you have to do. Walk past them after sheathing your sword. They're like, oh yeah, it's not a threat, I guess. And it works pretty much every time as long as both guards actually get their weapons out. Like that has to be some of the most useless guard activity of all time. They have one function, guard the gate so people can't get in, but you just wave a shiny sword around for a second, they get so distracted, you can literally just run past them and they won't do anything to stop you. Like just seriously, they put their weapons away and stand there. It's super dumb. And the fact that they fall for what's not even a basic trick, like it's dumb. It makes them dumb. And finally, at number 1, it is Half-Life 2. The Combine soldiers and police in Half-Life 2 are not exactly the smartest enemies, even on a good day, but there's one little trick you can pull off that makes them go from looking incompetent to looking straight up brain dead. For some reason, the only part of your character an enemy has to see to be able to shoot at you is your head. That's it. If an enemy can't get line of sight with your head, they will not shoot at you. An easy way to exploit this is by picking up any object in the environment and using it to block your line of sight. Doesn't matter how small, even a little jar is enough. Just hold it in front of your face, and to the Combine, you are now invisible. Like, look at how close you can get to this guy without him even realizing you're there. You can even let him see you for a second, then block him again, and he'll immediately stop shooting. Seeing it in first person is ridiculous enough, but imagine pulling something like this in real life, and it's just especially ridiculous. You got this tiny thing in front of you. These guys can't do anything. Yeah, it's just a quirk in the AI, and if there's anybody else looking at you, it doesn't work. But if you find a Combine guy by himself, try this out. It's a surprisingly easy trick to pull off. There's dumb, there's really dumb, and then there's failing to notice a guy who's using a jar to block his face. It's next level stupid. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is of course a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at FalconHero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.